Ladies and gentlemen, a very good evening and thank you for tuning in 2 times now. You're watching a brand new episode of The Nation Wants to Know and I'm Deepti Sachdeva. 266 days. That's it. 266 days. That's all the time it takes for the very grand statue of Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj to come falling down. This is a story that a lot of you have been talking about, a story that has gone viral, particularly on the social media, with those very, very distressing images, but a story also that has a lot of significant political, symbolism, because the Maharashtra elections are just around the corner. The opposition not waiting a moment to give a breather to the government, and they say this is your fault. It's only because of the corruption, they say, in the government right now in Maharashtra, that you have the statue that has come falling down in just 266 days. Let's quickly first up bring up details of this statue. A lot of politics is also what we have seen as far as these comments are concerned, and I want to see if we have a before and after of this statue to help you understand what really we are talking about. And later we'll get you a lot of this political tutu meme that we have seen on the entire issue. This, remember, is inaugurated by the Prime Minister in 2023. This was December the 4th. This was the Navy Day. You've seen the Prime Minister along with the Chief Minister, also the Deputy Chief Minister, all at the spot, and this was the statue in its full glory. A statue that stands 35 feet tall, inaugurated by the Prime Minister on the 4th of December 2023. Like I said, the occasion was the Navy Day. Fast forward to what happened just about yesterday. This is what is remaining today of that statue. Very distressing images where you see parts of this statue that really come falling down. So this is August the 26th, 2024. And I was just counting how long it's taken for, this entire story to move. Just about 266 days. 266 days from there to here. Now, clearly, we have to ask a lot of hard questions as to who was responsible for this. Is this a clear example of a lot of corruption, as the opposition is suggesting? Was this a bad design? Was this a bad contractor? Does the contractor have any kind of previous experience? These are questions that should be asked and questions that are being asked. But there's a lot of politics, remember, because that is associated with Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj, who's revered in the state of Maharashtra. You've seen a lot of agitation anyways for the Maratha reservation. You have a Maratha chief minister in Eknath Shinde. You have the upcoming Maharashtra elections. So a lot of political import to this entire story. I also want to now play out a response that has come in from the Chief Minister on what has happened so far. Why did we see this statue falling? Now, Eknath Shinde, the Maharashtra Chief Minister, says there were strong winds that caused the statue to fall. बहुत तेज हवाएं चली. For the last 3 days, there have been a lot of rainfall and, heavy rainfall in that particular area of Sindhudurg. And he says that this was designed and built by the Navy, and we are really concerned, and we will ensure that whoever is responsible is brought to book. He's also said that we will rebuild an even stronger Shivaji statue. That is the first response from the Chief Minister on the entire issue. And if you look at this picture, this is again a picture from the inauguration. You see the statue there in its full glory. The Prime Minister here, you see the Raksha Mantri. You see Eknath Shinde, the Chief Minister. We also see both Devendra Fadnavis, then Ramnath Kovind. And also you have, remember, not just Narayan Rane, you also have Ajit Pawar. So who was present at the inauguration that happened in December of 2023? This is what Eknath Shinde has said. I want you to listen in to that very first response that has come in from the Maharashtra Chief Minister.
त्यामुळे मी काय त्या टीकेकडे काही लक्ष देत नाही. फक्त एवढंच सांगतो, झालेली घटना अतिशय दुर्दैवी आहे. छत्रपती शिवाजी महाराज यांचं महाराष्ट्राचं आराध्य दैवत आहे आणि ज्या पुतळ्याचं लोकार्पण आदरणीय प्रधानमंत्री मोदीजींनी केलं होतं, तो पुतळा त्या कार्यक्रमाला आम्ही होतो. छत्रपती शिवाजी महाराज यांची भूमिका आहे. हा पुतळा जो आहे हा नेव्हीने उभारला होता. त्याचं कंप्लीट डिझाईन नेव्हीने तयार केलं होतं आणि मी कलेक्टरशी बोलल्यानंतर त्यांनी मला सांगितलं 45 किलोमीटर पर आवर अशा प्रकारचा वारा, सुसाट्याचा वारा जो भोग होता आणि त्या याच्यामध्ये पुतळ्याचं नुकसान झालेलं आहे. पण मी आपल्याला सांगू इच्छितो, उद्याच तिथे नेव्हीचे अधिकारी येणार आहेत. आमचे पालकमंत्री रवींद्र चव्हाण देखील घटनास्थळी गेलेत. मी त्यांना सांगितले, सूचना केलेल्या आहेत.
So that is what you heard from the Chief Minister, and clearly, because he, remember, spoke about the Navy, it's only fair that we put out the first statement that has come in from the Indian Navy on the entire issue. I'm just reading parts of this that you see on your screens. It says that damage to the statue, unfortunate. It goes on to also say that a team now has already been formed to probe the cause of this entire accident. Why did this statue fall down? They say will repair and reinstate the statue at the earliest. There has also been an FIR in the case. I'll tell you about that in just a moment. But as the FIR has also been registered against 2 people, there are a lot of questions being asked also about those people who were given the task of putting out this entire statue in the first place. And again, we'll keep playing our images of the inauguration to what has happened. We've seen a lot of curious onlookers. Later, you are also had ministers in the Maharashtra government who were dispatched at the site to get a first-hand account of what has happened. Now, who are the names who've been registered in this FIR? There are 2 names, Jaydeep Apte and Chetan Patil. These are people who are named in this FIR. Now, what the FIR also says is that the accused did not do the required study. Can you believe this? They built this statue for 35 feet that is inaugurated by the who's and who on the Navy Day. The locals also red flagged corrosion on August the 20th. There were a lot of locals who said, we saw a lot of these bolts that were getting rusted, coming off. The statue looked shaky. A lot of tourists who visited that place also said this. So there were warnings, there were red flags, but all that was also ignored. This is a part of the FIR that I'm just putting out here. The opposition says this is not good enough. The opposition sees a larger link, a larger conspiracy here to what has happened so far. Now, what they say, and this is the first big charge, the first big charge is that a favored contractor built this statue. Who favored the contractor? Who was behind this? We'll tell you about that in just a moment. The second big charge, the opposition alleges it is the Chief Minister Shinde who actually gave this contract to his son's friend. Look at the charge, a direct charge being made at the Chief Minister, saying it's the Chief Minister's son's friend who got this contract. Is this true? Again, a question we will answer in a moment. The third big charge, the statue was constructed by a firm linked to Shinde's son again. So you have the name of the Chief Minister that is being raked up again and again by the opposition. These are serious charges that they are leveling as far as this entire episode is concerned. The fourth big charge, terrible quality of work. This needs no proof because you see that again in all these images. The entire statue comes off falling. It is very, very hollow from inside. Absolutely nothing to be able to hold, those gusty winds. The fifth big charge is that elections, not sentiments, are important for the BJP because they claim that this entire inauguration that, remember, happened by the Prime Minister in the December of last year happened because this was close to the Lok Sabha elections. There was a hurry, is what the opposition alleges. And they say that they are not thinking about the sentiments of the state, a state that respects and worships Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj. So you see a lot of emotions here, a lot of political symbolism as far as the story is concerned. Take a moment now to listen in to a string of these reactions that have come in now from the opposition.
अब ये बोलते हैं कि बहुत ज़ोर से हवा चली। हवा महाराष्ट्र में ज़ोर से चलती है, लेकिन फिर भी बहुत से पुतले समुंदर पे है और किले पे है, बनाए हैं। हवा आपके दिमाग में चली गई है सत्ता की। छत्रपति शिवाजी महाराज के काम में भी वो लोग भ्रष्टाचार करते हैं। अब लाडली बहना हमारे लाडले राजा को नहीं संभाल सकते, आप लाडली बहना की बात करते हो।
अत्यंत गंभीर आहे। महाराजांचा पुतळा बसवताना या सरकारने काळजी घेतली नाही। सरकार त्याला जबाबदार आहे। सरकारने केवळ आणि केवळ पंतप्रधानांच्या हस्ते हा पुतळा उभारायचा एवढा उद्देश ठेवून इव्हेंट केली, पण मूळ महाराजांच्या प्रती जी काळजी घेणं आवश्यक होतं, पुतळा उभारताना त्याच्या बळकटीची, त्याच्या सर्वच तिथल्या वाऱ्याची, तिथल्या सगळ्या परिस्थितीची, याचा दुर्लक्ष करण्याचं काम झालेलं आहे. मी नेहमी म्हणतो की हे सरकार इव्हेंट सरकार आहे, यांना कामाच्या दर्जाविषयी देणं घेणं नाही.
So this is the opposition just gunning right now for the chief minister. They want Eknath Shinde to resign. They want him to explain कि ये contract किसने दिया था. Their links allegedly to the chief minister's son, and chief minister's son's friend is what the entire opposition has been speaking about. Now let me decode what the Maharashtra picture today looks like and why almost every incident is picked up by the opposition in such a huge manner. What is the real Maharashtra headache for everyone? So on one side you have the entire India alliance, and on the other side you have Shinde, Ajit Pawar and Devendra Fadnavis right now. They're ruling the state of Maharashtra. The first big issue that we have seen in the last few days is the Badlapur sexual assault case. You remember those dramatic images of people just rushing to the tracks? Why? Because they said our complaint was not registered in time. Again, the opposition picked up the issue. They made a big charge that the school involved here, they alleged, is linked to a BJP neta. And that is why there has been a go slow. Lot of furor over the sexual exploitation of two minor girls. The entire matter goes to the Bombay High Court. What we can tell you is that the CCTV footage for the last 15 days is missing. Let's bring up the next big issue that the opposition has used to again ensure that the government is on the mat. Now, there has been a lot of conversation about this unified pension scheme that has just been announced by the government. It's just been a matter of days. Maharashtra, ladies and gentlemen, is the first state in the country to go in for a UPS. Eknath Shinde has announced that we are using UPS in our state. We have begun its implementation. And again, the MVA says that this is a lollipop before elections because they are running scared. Kuch aur samajh nahi aa raha. So this is a lollipop that you are throwing at the janta. The third big issue, a lot of infighting over the MVA chief ministerial face. Now you would recall that not very long ago, Uddhav Thackeray has said time and again कि आप declare करिए who's going to be the chief minister's face. So not that there are just problems when it comes to one side, lot of problems even on the other side. He remembered the last time around was the chief minister till you had the entire, issue just spilling over and you had him losing his chair. Now he has been really egging on the other ally partners to ensure and declare a chief ministerial face. But Sharad Pawar, sources tell us, is of the opinion that for the moment we are not announcing any chief ministerial face. So would that lead to any tension? We do not know. The next big issue again that has been under the radar as far as the entire issue is concerned in Maharashtra is the Ladla Bhai and the Ladli Behna Yojana. Again, these are yojanas or schemes that were used very, very effectively, at least in the state of Madhya Pradesh. It ensured the BJP a spectacular victory. They won 29 out of the 29 Lok Sabha seats. And now you have the government that is led by both Shinde, Devendra Fadnavis, Ajit Pawar, who've also said that this is a scheme that not just they have announced, the buzz is, and the opposition alleges, that they want to ensure that more money goes in through these schemes to the Labhartis, and only then the Maharashtra elections will be announced. Is this true? Again, like I said, we do not know, but a lot that is going on in the Maharashtra circle, in the Maharashtra political quarters, and the latest trigger is this entire statue coming down of Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj. Let's quickly introduce a panel of guests who are joining us on the show as we want to know what happened, who's responsible for this, and will heads roll. Good to have Krishna Hegdeji. He's the national spokesperson of the Shiv Sena with us. Kailash Adhikari is MD of Governance now on the show. Varun Singh is a political analyst. He's got to be batting, I'm told, for the government, the Eknath Shinde government in the state. We also have Sanjay Jha, who's a noted author, and he has taken to the social media to write a long post, Sanjay, about why you believe that this is a very, very serious case that springs a lot of serious questions about corruption and a lot of other things. We also have Kishore Tiwari ji, the spokesperson of the Shiv Sena UBT faction with us, and Vijay Lakshmi Khopre, spokesperson of the NCP Sharad Pawar faction, is completing our panel. And let's begin by asking Krishna Hegde ji, who's responsible, sir? Krishna Hegde ji?
Deepti, firstly, you have to give me a couple of minutes, let me put all the points across. Firstly, this opposition is making baseless allegations without any proof involving the CM or the CM's son. Let me tell you that the two contractors who are already, and the structural engineer are both booked and FIRs have been filed against them. The government of Maharashtra has given such good schemes now, whether it's the Lake Ladli, the Unified Pension Scheme, the Vayoshree scheme for senior citizens, the scheme for farmers, and the game changer, which is the Ladla Bhai scheme. Now, if you look at all the spokespersons, they are mentioning the Ladla Bhai scheme. The difference between us and this Maha Vikas Aghadi, which was then the Maha Vasuli Aghadi, who was top brim with corruption, who were even making money in, COVID body bags, from COVID khichdi, from COVID medicines, from salaries of nurses and ward boys, are now talking about corruption. Now it's a shame. These are the people who are taking 100 crores from ladies' bars, and it is proven that they have put detonates and bombs below our industrialist house. And now they are accusing us. And this accusation is not happening now, it is happening since the first day the government has fallen and our government has come into place. Now, after all these accusations of 2.5 years, the difference between them and us is only 2% and 36 assembly seats in the Lok Sabha, and 8 of their Congress MLAs have cross-voted, and they know that they are never ever going to come back to power in Maharashtra, especially in the next October election.
But the statue.
No, Deepti. No, I will talk about the statue also. The statue was commissioned by the Indian Navy, and it was inaugurated by the Honorable Prime Minister on Navy Day. And the Navy has said that, of course, it was them who commissioned the statue. And it is not the state government. The statue was built at 5 crores. And it is our onus and responsibility of the Maharashtra government
please wait
that we
we'll
will
go
build
one
a
by
bigger
one,
and
sir. Let him
magnificent,
complete his point. Yes.
We will build a more bigger and more magnificent statue with taking the Navy into confidence. And we will see that, Mr. Tiwari, please be quiet, please. No, let me say that Shivaji is a brave Maratha warrior and we revere him. And therefore, we will not let this go. But all these baseless accusations that the opposition is making, who themselves are so corrupt, I don't think it stands any base in the thing. And let me tell you, they're only talking about Ladla Bhai because the ground has come out of their feet. They are now in the panic button stage, and that's why they're making all kinds of rotten allegations.
You're getting distracted, sir. I want to pull you back to the story that has generated so much interest. All of our viewers today really want an answer to what happened. Who's responsible for this? And when the opposition says that there are people that are linked to the chief minister's son, can you tell me that this allegation is true or not? Who's this man by the name of Jaideep Apte?
He is connected with BJP.
No, Jaideep Apte
Kishore Tiwari ji, please.
He's a contractor,
and
he is not connected. He is not. No, Deepti, he is not connected to the chief minister or his son. And these are baseless allegations because they know that they are going to lose. So they have to defame our government, they have to defame our chief minister. And it is the Indian Navy who has said that we have commissioned the statue. It is who we have planned the statue. And it was a Navy Day program. And the statue was built at 5 crores. And the statue unfortunately came down. And now we are going to rebuild the statue. Our Minister Deepak Kesarkar and also our PWD and Guardian Minister Ravindra Chavan was there. And the Honorable Chief Minister has also made a statement. Now, in spite of all this, these guys, like from day one to day now, are just going on making baseless allegations, and it does not hold any truth at all.
You are obviously self-certifying yourself,
and I know that the people of Maharashtra.
Krishna Hegde ji, I'm not surprised, sir. But let me get in Kishore Tiwari before I get Sanjay to also open up this conversation. किशोर तिवारी जी,
We are only
किशोर
giving you
तिवारी
the
जी,
facts.
अगर कृष्णा
We
हेगड़े
are
जी
only
ये
giving
कहते
the
हैं
facts.
कि ये नेवी ने बनाया है, नेवी रिस्पॉन्सिबल है इसके स्ट्रक्चर के लिए, और हम लोगों का कोई लेना देना नहीं है, ना मुख्यमंत्री का लेना देना है, ना मुख्यमंत्री के बेटे का लेना देना है, तो आप लोग पॉलिटिक्स क्यों खेल रहे हैं?
Dipti,
I want Kishore Tiwari to respond to this. Hegde ji, then I'll come back to you. Kishore Tiwari.
हाँ चलो, उनकी शांति होगी होगी तो देखो, नहीं तो बड़ा अशांत है वो अभी। मैं एक बात बताता हूँ कि बनाता है नेवी, कॉन्ट्रैक्टर देते हैं राज्य सरकार। अब ये इतनी खिचड़ी तो यहाँ है, हमारे खिलाफ कह रहे थे इतने भ्रष्टाचार के आरोप है। 2.5-3 साल से सरकार तुम्हारी है, पिछले 10 साल से सरकार तुम्हारी केंद्र में है, तो आपने किसी दंडित क्यों नहीं किया? बात ऐसी है कि मसला बहुत गंभीर है दीप्ति, कि नट बोल्ट रस्ट हो जाते। एक्चुअली कोल्ड रोल चाहिए। दुनिया में जो स्टैचू बने हैं, यूरोप में हो या रशिया में हो, तो सारे ऐसे ही वातावरण में है। और अमेरिका में भी आप देख लो तो समुद्र के, यहाँ ये तो 40 किलोमीटर की बात कर रहे हैं, वहां 240 किलोमीटर की हवाएं चलती है। बात ऐसी हुई है कि गडबड झाला आहे, घोटाळा झाला आहे, तो ये बेजवाबदारी है। मैं इसमें राजनीति नहीं करूंगा, ये अकाउंटेबिलिटी का मामला है कि नेवी के अफसरों ने किसके बोलने पर चेतन पाटिल और आपटे को ये काम दिया। आपटे की उम्र ही तो 25 साल की है, और चेतन पाटिल तो अब एकनाथ शिंदे के डॉक्टर साहब का जो बच्चा है, डॉक्टर साहब, उसके साथ घूमते फिरते दिखता है। तो मैं केवल घूमता फिरता है इसलिए उसे दोस्त नहीं बोलूंगा, लेकिन इन लोगों ने स्पेसिफिकेशन के अलावा काम नहीं किया। बड़ी गंभीर बात है। स्पेसिफिकेशन ऐसे बने कैसे थे?
नहीं, तिवारी जी फ्रीज हो गए हैं। तिवारी जी फ्रीज हो गए, उनकी आवाज वहीं पर रुक गई है, उनको वापस लाएंगे। But I think what he is saying, Krishna Hegde ji also does make sense. And Sanjay, this defense that this is the Navy's job, the Navy has put out a statement, we'll, build something bigger, grander than this. Isn't that a good enough explanation, or it's important to play politics just because you have the Maharashtra elections round the corner? Or there is something really wrong, Sanjay?
Deepti, it's good to be on your program once again. There are a lot of things to talk about, but I'll try and keep my answer in bullet points. I think it is very unfortunate, if not disgraceful and shameless, of the Maharashtra government to blame the Indian Navy. I mean, they need to apologize to the Indian Navy, who defends our territorial boundaries. They appoint the contractors here and they're blaming the Indian Navy. I mean, this is absolutely disgusting. And then they call themselves nationalists. The entire system of people who are going to support the government in this debate are all fakes and frauds. Let me call it out in broad daylight. Point number 2. Please note that you are witnessing the biggest infrastructure scam in India since 1947. Please do not look at the statue collapsing in isolation. You have seen that in Bihar, and I come from Bihar. Can you imagine 14 to 15 bridges collapsing within 2 months? We know what happened with the flooding in Parliament. We know what happened with the airports. People died. Highways, expressways, the Ram Temple. I mean, you are witnessing at the moment, in this example as well, that there was an attempt by Mr. Modi's government and their alliance partner to invest money in infrastructure project only for optics and endangering people's lives. What if somebody had died and the statue had fallen on them? I mean, these guys are an absolute mockery of democracy. I think, Deepti, the time to, be politically correct is long over. And therefore, I wrote a wrong tweet, a very, very long tweet, basically saying, link this to the electoral bond scam. I have a list of all the companies in construction and engineering who were given infrastructure projects who have funded the BJP. They all need to be investigated. I can tell you, you never know how the ordinary citizens of India are at risk. What is going to fall, what is going to collapse to a tunnel, to a highway or a bridge on an airport, nobody knows. Nobody knows. And my other point, the warnings were there earlier, Deepti.
Yes.
I'm going to request you to look at the CAG report. 7.5 lakh crore scam. Overnight, the project costs were escalated. The constructors or the architects or the builders benefited. And look at the state of our highways, expressways. And now look at the statue of Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj. I've been told it cost 3,600 crores. If a statue costing so much of money could collapse within 1 year, how steady or stubborn or durable are our structures on which we trust our movements and our lives?
Okay.
I mean, this is honestly a travesty.
Sanjay, that's a fair question that you raise. And Tiwari ji, apologies, we had just lost you. So you can complete your point quickly before I get in, Varun also and Lakshmi and Kailash also haven't spoken. Kishore ji.
Yeah. I am with the Sanjay Jha. I do not want to make a politics, but this is not the only case of faulty construction. I am with the Sanjay that the roads, the Samruddhi marks, everywhere there is a massive corruption is going on. But the man who brought indiscipline in a BJP by bringing our honorable Prime Minister 10, 12 years ago is the Rajnath Singh who should resign and should take a
So you want Rajnath Singh, the Raksha Mantri, to resign? Kishore Tiwari ji.
Yeah. I am talking very sensibility. If the state government just says that it is Navy's default, then let the truth come to who intervened, where it was intervened, why these notorious people were allowed to do that. I think Rajnath Singh should step down. At least message should go that the construction of Navy and such a Shivaji Maharaj insult, we will take a revenge of it. We will restore the dignity of the Shivaji Maharaj in next coming election.
Okay, coming elections, Varun, why don't you look at the big picture? I have just listed out multiple instances that have been used by the opposition to put the government on the mat. Whether it's what happened in Badlapur, and again, an absolute horror, Varun. There were serious charges of a go-slow. 15 days CCTV goes missing. There are allegations the school apparently is linked to a BJP leader. Some serious allegations that are coming in here also. For the sake of transparency, shouldn't people know? Nation wants to know what has happened in these cases, Varun.
Yeah, thank you, Deepti. First of all, let me tell you a simple thing. Absolutely true that the police in the Badlapur case acted late. It was very slow in acting. And hopefully, the action against those police officers in the Badlapur case would serve as a lesson for other police officers not to do that. The second thing that we are talking about the statue in the Rajkot Fort in Malvan. Its collapse is actually something that needs to be condemned. There are multiple things that I would say that the government did wrong, but the government has acted too. The person against whom the FIR has been registered, Jaideep Apte, actually, to be very honest, he himself had tweeted a few days ago in February this year that he was appointed by the Navy and he hasn't even been paid by the Navy. And here the Maharashtra CM or none of the Maharashtra ministers have said that Navy is responsible. Absolutely lie to say that they are blaming the Navy. They have just pointed out the facts.
Then who's responsible? Varun, who's responsible then?
I'm coming to that. There are many people who are responsible for it, including the local administration over there who came to know that the the nut bolts that were being rusting. Yes. The nut and bolts that were rusted should have been replaced. Again,
what about the PWD minister?
PWD minister, it should have been brought to his notice. And let me tell you a simple thing. If it was not brought to his notice, if it was brought to his notice, action should be taken against him. Secondly, let me tell you a simple thing. Something that is being, conveniently being ignored. Kishore Tiwari says that, his party always stands and have been, and Sanjay Jha, that he is a suspended Congress leader, but he supports Congress. So I'm just saying, Congress and Shiv-Sena UDT, they claim that they have been keeping a thorough eye on every action that this government has been doing. So what was his sitting MP, Vinayak Raut from Shiv-Sena UDT, who was there when the statue was inaugurated? He was a sitting MP. What was he doing? Why didn't he also raise this matter? That
Varun.
convenient, no, let me tell you, I'm not saying that he
Varun,
should be not
I don't
saying it.
understand. See, I do not understand. It's rich, and we'll bring up those pictures again, the picture of the inauguration. Just one look at that image will tell you how politically important that was, obviously loaded with that symbolism just close to the Lok Sabha elections. So when it's about giving credit, we know where the credit should go to. When it's about asking questions, no, we are running around in circles. And then we look for the smallest fish, Varun.
Say that the government or the PWD minister, if he was aware, shouldn't be questioned about it? Did I say at any place that if these people, Sanjay Jha and Kishore Tiwari, are claiming that the CM Shrikant Shinde's son is the friend of the person who actually carried out the statue construction, put out those facts. If the allegation is true, then they should have presented those facts. Present out those facts. I would be the first person to say.
Isn't the onus on the chief minister and then his son, to clarify also that we have nothing to do with this. These are baseless allegations.
I don't know, Deepti, whether your reporter got it or not, but this question was posed to the Chief Minister of Maharashtra. He has clearly said that the person, Jaideep Apte, has no connection with the Chief Minister Eknath Shinde's son, who also happens to be the MP. Let me tell you a simple thing. I also come from Kalyan. I have not met Shrikant Shinde for the last 6 years. But if a picture comes of mine of 6 or 5 years ago, can it be claimed to be that I'm his friend? Probably no or yes. I'm not denying, I'm not getting into all those things, but I'm just saying if Jaideep Apte, who had constructed 2 small statues before he constructed this one, that is what he has claimed in an article that is now used by everyone. He has clarified many things in that article.
Who wrote him? Aren't these important questions? You have a contractor and a structural consultant who've been named in this FIR. Let me quickly get in, Vijay Lakshmi to respond to Varun these questions, and then Kailash will come in. Vijay Lakshmi ji, is it fair then to just put all the onus on the government because this is election time and you have an axe to grind? तो जो भी आएगा सब उनके मत्थे आप डाल देंगे without presenting the proof. They are saying, where is the proof?
Especially in this case, given the symbolism of it, given the very fact that it was a statue of Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj, irrespective of who built it, it had a lot of great implications.
Correct.
And more so ever, because this is probably for the first time that Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj was recognized for who he really was, a naval king. And something like that, something like this, something so unfortunate which has happened in this case, it is absolutely shameless on part of the government. And what they have done, they have simply gone about registering FIR against these 2 simple contractors. Now, we all know how this scapegoating ends. Everybody is very well aware about it. What needs to be done is the ministers in charge, the bureaucrats in charge, the officers in charge. They have to be implicated under non-bailable offences. Only then we can see some light into this entire situation. A detailed probe into the entire tendering process of the statue ought to be made. Most importantly, an independent probe to assess if any casualty has been committed also needs to be done in this case. And as far as this government is concerned, I think there are certain issues like the Badlapur issue or an issue such as this, which has a lot of emotional aspect to it. Especially at these times, I feel the government, especially this government in power, should keep aside its issues and address the issue for what it is. The statue has collapsed. Yes, it has collapsed. We take the responsibility of it, and we will make sure that the people responsible are brought to the book. Instead of playing this pointing of fingers and putting the onus on the opposition only. No, the opposition is there to ask you questions, and you have, and the government in power is bound to answer these questions for us. And more importantly, this government only knows how to play with the emotions of the people, be it the new Parliament House, be it the Ayodhya Ram Mandir, and now most recently.
Kailash, now you look at the big Maharashtra picture. You're looking at a lot of these important issues, whether it's what happened in Badlapur to the Ladli Bhai Yojana that, Krishna Hegde ji spent so much time and effort talking about and stressing, to this particular statue, to a lot of seat-sharing headache already between both the Mahayuti and the MVA. Is there a real crisis right now for the Shinde government, and not to forget the entire issue of the Maratha reservation also?
Deepti, before I put out any point, I'd like to raise a strong objection to what my learned friend Sanjay ji just said. He referred that on this panel, all those who are having a point of view which may resonate with the government are frauds. I am sorry that for me, as a citizen of this nation, having a point of view in a democracy does not tantamount to me being called fraud, or Krishna ji or my learned friend who's just sitting next to me. We are not frauds, firstly. He has no right to call us frauds. A. B, on this particular issue, yes, what has happened, Deepti, is unfortunate. It shouldn't have happened. No one is shying away from it. The government is also not shying away from it. The two gentlemen who have been named in the FIRs, naturally an inquiry will be placed. The Indian Navy has also commissioned an inquiry into it. And actually, when we know that the Indian Navy, which is a part of our armed forces, has commissioned an inquiry, how serious it will be, we all trust our armed forces. Secondly, to the fact that whether the person named in the FIR is the Honorable Chief Minister's son's friend or not, see, whatever it is, the law will take its own course. If those particular two gentlemen named in the FIR are found guilty of this particular act, then naturally whatever provisions are there in the law, they'll be punished by it. And I'd like to respond to one Kishorji's statement. He's a very seasoned politician, but just because someone is 25 years old does not make him incompetent. We are living in an India, Deepti, where even people who are of 25-year-old, they are founders of unicorns and they are multi-billionaires, one being Mr. Ritesh Agarwal, founder of Oyo Rooms. So just because someone is, if he has done wrong, I'm not supporting him. If he has done wrong, law will punish him. But just because he's 25 years old, you cannot...
Kailash, what he has done is in front of all of us. There is a reason why he's named in the FIR today. But the point is that does he have that much of experience? Did he have that much of gravitas that he could build something like this? Was there expertise that he had, Kailash? Is the question that is being asked.
Absolutely. I'm saying that only, that the inquiry will prove. And if the inquiry says that he was incompetent, then naturally law will take its own course, not only against him, but also against the people who have commissioned it.
Okay.
Now, coming to Sindhudurg position, it is not just about winds. Sindhudurg is a Konkan belt where there is incessant and torrential rainfall.
But that doesn't justify a statue falling down just in 266 days. It does not. Even Varun is nodding his head. I don't think that justifies. Nothing justifies this. Otherwise, that statue should not have been there. I just have the last couple of minutes, so we'll go to everyone, so we'll keep our comments brief. Now, Krishna Hegde ji, tell me one thing. Do you blame the Chief Minister? Do you blame the PWD Minister? Do you blame the Indian Navy? Or do you only blame the sculptor for what has happened, sir? Who's to be blamed?
Deepti, it was a natural, nature's fury, and this unfortunate thing happened. But we will build the statue to a magnanimous form. But let me tell you that we are proud Indians. We will not blame the Indian Navy at all. We are proud that what they are doing for our country. Like Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj, we are proud of him. That's why, let me tell you, it is these people who have left Hindutva and joined with Congress who are now talking about Chhatrapati
Krishna
Shivaji
Hegde ji, for the moment, forget them right now. I'm not asking about that. I'm asking about accountability right now.
My friend, no. Listen, my friend Sanjay Jha called us frauds for no reason. Similarly, these people have been making baseless allegations against us for the last 2.5 years, and that was there on your screen to see even today.
But you don't think that the Maharashtra Lok Sabha election is any clear testimony to the fact that you perhaps are also losing ground? You don't think so?
Not at all. No, this is a state election and Lok Sabha are two different aspects altogether.
Okay.
We have 220 MLAs in the House out of 288.
Who is your face? Who is your chief ministerial face?
MLA who went about smashing the PWD. Our leader for this election is Eknath Shinde ji. Our leader for this election is Eknath Shinde.
Okay, not Devendra Fadnavis?
All three are our leaders, but the leader for the election this time is Eknath Shinde ji, as he is the sitting Chief Minister of Maharashtra. Okay. And the Uddhav Thackeray MLA was smashing the PWD government office and damaging property. And these people are not talking about him.
Sanjay Jha, should you also look within? I think there are a lot of problems on both sides. It's not just the Mahayuti, the MVA also. Uddhav already has said, ki announce kariye Chief Ministerial face.
Deepti, look at the arrogance of the Mahayuti. They have been demolished in the Lok Sabha, and anybody who knows Maharashtra politics will tell you they are going to be knocked out in the assembly elections. Therefore, they're going to try every trick in the bag to delay the elections, but it will have zero impact. But I want to make a short point. Can anybody trust this government? You know, the day the Badlapur issue came into the public domain, they actually blamed the protesters for being politically motivated, which was like adding, insult to injury. And this is a government that actually arrested 40 people protesting for justice and filed 300 FIRs. So I can tell you that people have seen through this government. It's on its last legs. And I want to remind everybody of what Lal Krishna Advani famously said about Narendra Modi. He's an event manager. So the event happened, he got his photo up, and look what they're living
You're
with.
raising a big charge. You're saying the Prime Minister is an event manager. All this was done only as an event. Kishore Tiwari ji, समय खत्म हो गया. सिर्फ 10 सेकंड दूंगी आपको. आप लास्ट वर्ड दीजिए. 10 सेकंड.
नहीं, जो शिवाजी महाराज के स्टेचू में भी भ्रष्टाचार करते, उनको लोग माफ नहीं करेंगे. मैं किसी को दोष नहीं दूंगा, लेकिन हमारे मित्र जो है कृष्णा कहते हैं कि 3,500 करोड़ लगे तो क्या हुआ, वो पानी में गए तो क्या हम 10,000 करोड़ में और बनाएंगे. यानी इसका मतलब क्या है कि भ्रष्टाचार चलते ही रहेगा और शिवाजी महाराज को नहीं बख्शे, तुम्हें जनता नहीं बख्शेगी. जनता
चलिए देखते हैं महाराष्ट्र इलेक्शन कब अनाउंस होते हैं और फिर उस इलेक्शन में कौन जीतता है. अभी बहुत कुछ होना बाकी है. वरुण, अब कैलाश, Krishna Hegde ji, Sanjay, Kishore Tiwari ji and Vijay Lakshmi, thank you so much for speaking to us. We are quickly heading into a break.